kinds of issues. All right, I think we're ready to go. Can you see my desktop okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, well, Joan, let's get started with you since you're first in, and we've got Daryl here as well. So what do you got?
Nothing. I just want to thank you for something you told me a month ago, was how to hide my dock so that I could play games better.
Yeah, excellent.
That is the greatest, one of the greatest things. I've learned so many things from you, but that's really cool because on a laptop especially, if the dock's up there, it's in the way all the time.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, in the system preferences, it's easy to hide and show the dock. I like to not only hide it like I've got it on mine right now, but also throw a little bit of magnification on there because my eyes are getting worse. If I turn that magnification on just about 3/4 of the way, then it gives me a little bit better idea of what I'm selecting. So, and you can adjust the magnification in that same area there.
Right, I've done that, but I don't have quite as many things on the dock as you do, but still they were getting in the way of my games.
Yeah, I've got a lot of worthless things on my dock and things I think I'm going to get back to and then never do. Well, Daryl, are you with us this evening? Can you hear us?
Scotty, I am. I just finished having dinner at Shorty's, and it's about 70 degrees outside, and it's perfect weather down here today.
So can I guess where you are?
Sure, go ahead.
Are you in Miami, Florida?
I am in Coral Gables.
Coral Gables, isn't that interesting? Yeah, I lived about 2 or 3 streets south of University of Miami, but still in Coral Gables. And in Coral Gables, as you know, one street can be very dangerous, and the next street can be a beautiful place. So hold on to your wallet down there and watch your head, watch your back.
I am, and while I'm gone, Joan's watching my house.
Ah, very good.
And his mail and newspapers, and they're all safe as of now.
That's very good. Good to have good neighbors. Well,
we appreciate it. We appreciate it, Joan.
Thank you, Derek. No problem.
It was a gorgeous day today. Absolutely.
What brought you down to Miami, my old stomping grounds?
I still have work down here.
Oh, yeah. So a business trip?
Yeah, business trip. Yep.
When I lived in Miami, I worked. Of course, I went to school at University of Miami, and then twice a week or maybe 3 times a week, I would ride my bike up from Coral Gables to Biscayne, Key Biscayne. I would ride all the way up to South Miami Beach, and I worked in South Miami Beach at a high school there, and then I would ride my bike over the bridge to Key Biscayne, and seeing all this cruise ship stuff going on here lately with this cruise ship that came in, that makes me think some of my fondest memories were going to South Miami Beach and sitting there on the beach and just watching these boats come in and out. It was beautiful.
What year was that, Scotty?
I lived there 1991, 92, and 93.
Okay, well, I have to tell you that it took me 30 minutes to get from where 95 dumps in the US 1 down to Lejeune Road last night at 6 o'clock. Sunday night at 6 o'clock, it took me 30 minutes to get from, of course, a couple of reasons. The guy that I work with down here, he said, well, first of all, it was the Coconut Grove Art Show was in town.
Yeah, okay.
The boat show was on the beach.
Yeah, the sailboat show from the 14th through the 18th.
Yeah, and he said that they probably let out about both let out about that same time.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for some of the traffic. But that it took me from the Gables here, it took me right on Miracle Mile. Took me probably 20 minutes to get down to Shorty's, 20 minutes to get back.
Yeah, there's a great sidewalk and bike path right under the metro rail there that basically runs right along US 1, and that's what I always used to take. But I loved that. I used to ride my bike. That's all I had for 3 years down there was a bike, and so I rode that thing everywhere. Well, I know we've got Cheryl coming up here. Daryl, besides making us all jealous about that great weather, do you have anything else going on this evening?
I do, but it's on my other machine. I somehow attached a prefix to an application, and I want to get, I'm sorry, a suffix, a dot doc or whatever, to this application, and I want to get rid of it. It's an ADF file, .adf.
Okay, so it may be some sort of video?
No, it's an ACT database file.
Oh, okay. So you've accidentally...
I want to get rid of... Yeah, actually, I want to get rid of the .adf in the system, and then I also want to get rid of the attachment.
Well, have you tried just selecting the file name like I'm looking at right now, and then actually just altering, like if this is a .doc file, I could change it to a .xls file. Now that doesn't mean it's going to open, but the last three letters, as most of us know, are the letters preceding the period. That's what designates what opens it. So once I change that and I hit return, it's going to say to me, are you sure you want to use XLS, or would you rather keep .doc? And in this case, I'm going to say, yes, I want to use XLS. And so then that's all you should have to do. Now that doesn't mean...
I did that, but I don't want ADF to be associated with any application.
Well, ADF, or the suffix at the end of the file name, it's not going to be universally applied to just any file. You would have to, either the program that you're using put that on, or you would have to type it in. But I guess I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about the second part.
Right now it's associated with Excel, the Microsoft Excel that's in Apple. It's the Apple version of Microsoft Excel.
Numbers.
That's what. No, it's not Numbers. It's the Microsoft Office.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So Excel for the Mac.
Excel for the Mac, right?
All right.
And I just want to get rid of that association, but I really don't want to name it anything else.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Here's and I'll use the same example that I've got here on my desktop. I've got this .doc file. If I were to double-click that, it would open up in Microsoft Office or Word. But let's say I don't want to double-click and open that thing up in Word every time. I want it to open up in TextEdit, which is a simple program that can be used. Is this what you're asking, maybe?
No, I'm asking, how do I get rid of the ADF designation in the system?
Well, let's try this.
The PS, what is that? ISP files or the P list? Can I get rid of it in the P list somehow?
Well, let me go a step further and see if this takes it. If I were to get info on this, and I might be barking up the wrong tree completely. If I'm looking at info on that one file, in this case a .doc file, and then I change it to open with, and then I choose to open with something else, and then I select to change all, it will never open in the first program. Is that what you're looking for, or am I still completely off?
No.
All right.
That's not quite right. No.
Do you have an example of it on your computer, or are you using the wrong computer right now?
Well, let me just see if I've got it in my Dropbox. Hold on. Well, go ahead and I'll come back to me.
Okay. All right. Cheryl, you're with us this evening. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
All right. What's up?
I've got a question actually for a friend, because my question isn't ready for you yet. But I don't have any iPhones, so I was hoping you guys might know this. But she has an iPhone 4S.
Yeah.
And she's leaving to go to Ireland, and I remembered you talking about the airport and all that.
Yeah.
Airplane mode, and she said that she went to the phone place and she paid $25 for 100 megabyte to set it up for Ireland, and she's going to have her email turned off to her phone with her one type of email, but she didn't know if Gmail, does she need to turn that off?
Okay.
Will she be charged for roaming? And she wants to be able to take pictures with her phone in Ireland. And can she take pictures still, and how many do you know? And does she have to pretty much save them until she gets over here? Can she download them somewhere?
Okay, well that's a good question, and we'll take it in two parts to start with, and we'll get to this photo streaming and picture taking issue in a second. But to start, first, does she have an AT&T phone or a Verizon phone? Do we know?
I think Verizon.
Okay. If she has Verizon. If she has a Verizon phone, I don't think that phone is going to work overseas. The phone chip inside the AT&T phone allows for that phone to work on other carriers that are international, but the Verizon chip doesn't allow you to do that. So maybe
something about that she got some kind of SIM card or something.
Okay, so maybe she got a MiFi card, a separate little carrier. I've even heard of Verizon giving people BlackBerries and other phones that work overseas if they had the iPhone. But so I don't think that she's applying a data plan straight to her phone. She's applying it to possibly a MiFi. That's what I'm guessing. A MiFi is another device that's about the size of the iPhone itself, and it emits a Wi-Fi signal around you as you carry it around. Do you think that's what she's using?
I don't know. I know she said that she won't be able to get a hold of anybody, or nobody will be able to get a hold of her.
Yeah, that Verizon phone doesn't work overseas. So anyway, to back up, she's doing the right thing by talking to the phone company. The pictures that she takes, and I'll talk about this with AT&T as well, because AT&T is really the larger issue here. Verizon, they probably gave her a device and said, here's some data. And the question that she needs to know then is, once she runs out of that data, does it automatically start charging, or does it notify her saying, hey, sorry, you're out of data? That's what I would want to know. And that's dependent on the device and the plan that she has. But with the pictures, when she takes pictures through PhotoStream, or she takes pictures on her iPhone, those pictures are going to move once the phone is on a Wi-Fi network. Now, if she's connected to this MiFi network, which is she's carrying around, then that's a Wi-Fi network, and that PhotoStream would jump and start being delivered over the Wi-Fi network, because the iPhone would think it's on a Wi-Fi network when it's really kind of not. So I would suggest, just to be on the safe side, how long is she going to be there?
A week.
Okay, just to be on the safe side,
One week.
I would tell her to go into settings, and in the I'm going to close my door here in a second. My dogs are barking. She would go to iCloud, and she would turn off.
She's going to watch it.
Okay, great. Well, then she needs to go into iCloud settings. She needs to go into PhotoStream.
She's going to watch her video, yeah.
All right, and for some reason, there it is. She's going to go into iCloud and then go into PhotoStream, and she's going to turn off PhotoStream. And I'm a little bit slow on this for some reason. There we go. Okay, so there, and then she's going to just turn off PhotoStream. And of course, that would take the pictures off of the phone, but those are just that's not going to take the camera roll pictures off. It's just going to take off the PhotoStream pictures that she has, which are also somewhere else, and some of those are on her same camera roll. So that's the first thing she should do. The next thing she needs to do is possibly, when in doubt, she can put her phone into airplane mode. Now, when she puts it into airplane mode, the phone will not talk to the outside world. So let's see. Gosh, it's been so long. It's up at the very top. Airplane mode, right up at the top. So she turns that on. Her phone just becomes a big iPod Touch. But the best advice I can give her is, even if she's carrying the MiFi around, the best thing she can do is, when she gets to a hotel room, join their Wi-Fi network. Now, I don't know how Ireland works, but I know in some places in Europe, they charge you for their Wi-Fi access. But what were you going to say? So join other networks as much as she can. The other thing that she could do is turn off as much data coming to the phone as possible. If she wants to turn her email off or deactivate it temporarily, she can go into her mail contacts and calendars. And for each email that she has, here's my Gmail account, she could go in and just turn that off. So let me see, where is it? Let's see, how can we deactivate that? Oh, just turn off mail. So if she turns the mail off, she won't be getting that mail for that period of time. And then when she gets to a Wi-Fi network at the cottage that she's staying at, or the castle, wherever she's living for the week, then she could turn that back on while she's on somebody else's Wi-Fi, download all of her email, answer it, deal with it, and then when she's out on the go, maybe turn it off again.
She wouldn't be charged?
That's right. When she's using someone else's Wi-Fi, like if she got to the hotel and the hotel has Wi-Fi, then she's not going to be charged per data on that. It's either they're going to give you access to it, or they're not going to give you access to it. But that little MiFi that she's carrying around at 100 megs is not a whole lot. So she is right to be thinking she definitely doesn't want to stream any Netflix. She doesn't need to download or buy any music while she's there because she's going to eat through that 100 megs pretty quickly.
Yeah, she'd just take pictures.
Yeah. So she might want to just turn PhotoStream off, and then when she gets back in the United States, she turns PhotoStream back on. Those pictures will move over to her computer if she's using a Mac. And if she's not, PhotoStream still works with Windows. It just drops it into a folder instead of into iPhoto. All right?
Okay.
But I think that's as much information as I can give you.
Okay.
Joan, I'm going to jump back over to you. Did you have something else on your mind?
No, just a minor problem with Facebook, but I know that's not your thing, so we'll let it go.
Well, what is it? Maybe somebody else here can help. You're right, I don't use Facebook at all.
I don't think anybody else is really into games or Facebook the way I am.
Well,
there was an update, and now when I go into my email and it says blah 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 sent, posted something, when I go to it, it goes like back to people. It's hard to explain, but I don't think it's your thing.
Well, yeah, okay.
And it's not a major thing in my life.
Yeah, I can't solve every problem. Yeah, Facebook, I'm not a Facebook guy.
It'll work out. They'll have a better update soon, I'm sure. Yeah,
my mother was just in the, I'd mentioned this probably before, my mother was just in the hospital recently, and when she was laying there sick as she could be, all she could care about was for me to get home and open up Facebook so she could go to some game and make sure that the plants got watered in the game or something, and we all got a kick out of that. There were bigger things to worry about.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't have much of a life. I don't get to leave the house much, so games are very important.
Understood. Daryl, did you find an example?
Yeah, I sure did. You want to come over to my screen?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to jump over and ask permission to share your screen. You should see a share my screen window here in a minute. Okay, so we're taking a look here, and why don't you point out what you're talking about?
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you see this file right here?
Yes.
Okay, there's the file.
Yeah.
Okay, now when I open up this file on my iMac, it's associated with Microsoft Office Excel.
Okay.
From here.
And you want it to be associated with what?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just like this one is.
Okay.
Associated with nothing.
So the only reason that the only thing that would happen if it's associated with any program is when you double click it. Then it would force it to open in something else. Other than that, it sounds like you're opening up some other proprietary piece of software and you're going and asking that piece of software to open that file. Is that right?
No. You want to try this?
Well, what does this file?
It's an ACT database.
Okay. And so when you double click that, what happens here on this computer? Right. There's no application for that. What do you want to happen with this file?
Exactly what's happening here on my iMac.
Absolutely nothing. So what good is this file for you? What good is this file to you?
Well, because I'm going to attach this file with the SQL database and an ODBC connection and use it for another purpose. But because it's attached to Excel, it won't work for me. I have to somehow unassociate.
Let me see. The only thing I can think to do would be, I don't think this is going to be a plist file. You could try to associate it to a different program that would not conflict with this task that you're doing. And you could choose any application, anything, to open it with. You could choose anything. And then I bet with it not being associated to Excel, you would probably be able to accomplish this task. Why don't you try that? Try to just associate it to be opened in Launchpad or anything. So just do a right click on it. Are you near your other computer?
No, the other computer's home.
Well, that's okay. I'll walk you through it right now. Do a right click and get info on it. You'll have to cancel this. Yeah. Okay, so then you would select to open with.
Right.
Yeah. And then you would choose other. And then go through and select not recommended applications, but all applications down in the bottom there. Yeah. And then just choose something obscure like dashboard. Just something that you know has nothing to do with the program really. Don't do it here and don't finish. Don't add that here because you already like the way it is there. That's the only thing that I can think of to do. I don't know of a way to disassociate that ADF file to everything just completely. In other words, to select none. I don't know of a way to do that.
There's not a plist line for association?
Yeah, it is, and it's the Finder, and the Finder is in charge of that, and I'm not going to recommend you go mess with that because you're going to end up breaking more than you're going to fix, I think, possibly.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is to flash the parameter RAM. The parameter RAM is what chooses, or the parameter RAM is, I think, the area that stores that information. To flash the parameter RAM on the other computer would be to hold down Command Option PR. And when you turn your computer on, holding Command Option PR, the computer will start up, and then it will cut off, and then it will start up and chime again, and it'll cut off, and then it'll start up and chime again. And if you listen to it chime 3 times, then you let it go, the parameter RAM has been successfully flashed, and it may have disassociated itself from...
Okay, so the command key, the option key, the P key, and the R key?
Yeah, for parameter and RAM. That will sometimes solve problems like this, but I don't think that's going to do it in this case. That's just something you could try. I think your chances of that solving it are about 15%, possibly, something like that, really low. But I'm trying to think if there's any other way to get it to disassociate itself completely. Other than trying to set it to a bogus application, I don't know that it would do it. I don't know of another way to do it. All right, that's a pretty tough one. You always bring these hard ones to us.
Sorry.
That's all right. I have people that say, I mention everybody, let's do, please come and join in town hall, and they always say the same thing. Oh, my questions would be way too easy for everybody. And then I say, no, there's lots of easy questions. And of course, as soon as somebody new comes in, all of a sudden I'm probably talking to Daryl about database management and file extensions, and it scares them away. Hopefully not, though. All right, well, let's open it up. Anybody else have anything you want to jump in?
I just sent Cheryl a message, and I'm not sure if she's seeing it.
I just did just now. I had it minimized because I was trying to prepare for my next question for Scotty.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just getting ready to reply back to you.
Scotty, you're in twice, Scotty?
Yes, I do. I have a backup. I have a backup computer here this evening. Yeah, I know. I was planning for the worst, hoping for the best. Cheryl, what was your next question?
I just plugged in this cruiser thing. I don't normally use them, but I guess they're called flash drives, I think.
That's right.
And okay, now something just popped up from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If it's okay, let's look at your screen while you talk. This might be the kind of question that if we see it, we might be able to answer it better.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if this U3 system has anything to do with that because I don't know what the heck this is and where it came from.
Yeah. I hate this. That U3 is it's a piece of software that lives on that flash drive, and basically without going through all the difficult steps of removing that, you just have to live with seeing that when you plug up that flash drive.
Okay. So one of the things I was trying to do, these old, from an old chip that I found, had all these pictures on it, and you showed me how to change them to make them into a JPEG.
Yeah, you had that big problem.
Yeah, and now I can see them in iPhoto, and I was trying to, I was wondering if I could take a video and move it onto a card, and apparently that wouldn't work. So I thought, could I put it onto this cruiser thing?
Well, let me ask you, what kind of card are you talking about? Like a flash, an SD card for a camera, something like that?
Yeah. I tried putting them on a whole bunch of different SD cards, and so I could give it to somebody rather than emailing a 10 megabyte video that's only 3 minutes or 10 seconds long.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't get them to I couldn't transfer it onto a SD card.
Okay, well you should have been able to have done that, but let's since you kind of given up on that, you could definitely do this. You should be able to move these movies from one place to another if you want.
Okay.
Where are you trying to put them now? Like
right now, I was gonna try to put it on this cruiser thing.
Okay.
And
so they're sitting on the desktop. It looks like they're in a folder on the desktop. So why don't we do this? You have two, and this is perfect. This is a perfect scenario. You have two Finder windows open, a place that you're going to get things from, and then a place you're going to put them into. So why don't we do this? Why don't on the window to the top right, where you have the cruiser selected, select that window, and in the cruiser file system there, let's create a new folder and call it Movies. You can do a right click to create it, or there you go, perfect. And call that Movies or Movies to John or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, hit return to tell the computer you're done. Now let's go, and it re-alphabetized it, and that's fine. Now let's go back to the left lower window and take one of those movies, and you're going to drag it, and you're going to drop it into that second column over there on the far right window. So drag, 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 and yep, and you don't even have to drop it on the folder. You can go over to the next column, and that's copying that over into that folder. It should have anyway.
Put it up here.
Yeah, drag it to the right-hand column. Well, we need to put it in the folder now because you're looking at it. But so drag it down into that Movies folder, and then go over. There you go. Did it not put it in there? Try it again.
What if I delete it?
You can do that. You can go Command Delete or move to the trash. Yep. All right. Now, before you do this, Cheryl, just move your mouse back over to that window over on the right-hand side. Yeah, click that. Now, that's where you'll drop it, right there, because your window is your folder's already highlighted.
Okay.
All right. So drag that and drop it. There you go, and let go. Now, that's putting it into that folder. That should go. There you are.
And now it'll be on that cruiser?
Yes, it will. So you have it in two places.
Okay. What is cruiser?
Cruiser is the name of her flash drive. She has a small little thumb drive, and she
which I found.
Awesome.
It was in my desk. I don't even remember getting it. And I deleted what? Well, that was another question. On here, when I was looking at what was all on it, which I deleted most, but this was the only one I couldn't because it's a .NET.
Yeah.
So I can't. Is there any way? Because I know that's a deceased dog that died of old age, and the owners have disappeared. Is there a way I can try to open this picture?
Is it a pic? It was a picture. Well, yeah. Let's try it. Click. Let's just drag it to your desktop. So let's work on the desktop, not off of the cruiser drive. So drag that and drop that. All right, now let's try to rename that by selecting the file name in the bottom, just like you've done in the past, and we've kind of talked about today. Click that once, and then click it again. And cancel. You double-clicked it too fast, so cancel out of that. All right, now click it once on the file name itself, and then click again. There we go. Now, delete... put your cursor after the X. Click after the X. Now delete, delete, delete. Okay, now type JPG. Let's try that. And hit return, and the computer's going to say, how dare you? And you can say use JPEG. And double click and see what happens here. Now, we're not guaranteed that that's going to open. Yeah, I don't know that that's actually a picture. It might be in a different format. See, we're hunting for a needle in a haystack. It could be a JPEG. It could be a GIF. It could be a PNG file. It could be a movie. It could be all kinds of things, and we're just guessing at the file.
The dog's name was Emmett, and that's why I knew it was a picture that they had sent me with their, you know.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of pictures be sent to me that were dot mix, and I couldn't open them.
Well, let's Google is smarter than we are. Let's go Google that real quick. I'm gonna go do a search and see if we can come up with a way that a transition here on this. Was it MLX you said?
No, it was MIX.
MIX. Let's see.
Yeah, dot mix.
Could be a sound file, Scotty.
No, it's definitely a picture. It's just a really old school. You know what? Do you have Microsoft Office? Cheryl, do you have?
No.
You don't?
No.
Because they're saying Word might be able to do it. Let's see. Adobe Elements. Graphics Converter might do it too. Graphics Converter is free and it's on the web. So what? Yes, it is. It's from a company called Lemkesoft. It's free.
I have this image converter thing.
You can try that.
I don't know what it is.
You can try that. So go back and change that file name back to MIX. I've got to step away real quick. I'll be right back. My dogs are outside. I got to bring them in. They're terrorizing the neighborhood.
Joan, how much snow did you get?
About 1.5 inches, Daryl. But our daughter in Huntersville got 2 inches. But it was kind of funny because it was the first time our dog had seen snow, and he, like me, wasn't overly impressed. But it totally disappeared quickly because the ground was so warm.
Right, right.
Which was fine because I don't miss snow at all.
Yeah, well, I fed the birds before we left, so I'm sure they were happy.
Yeah, Warner feeds the birds too.
Okay,
so
sorry
you
about
have
that.
a good time?
Yeah, we are. Thanks. I'm working. Greta's having a good time.
Well, I guess that's the way it goes.
Cheryl, why don't you email it to me real quick?
Okay.
You can just drop it into an email, and let me see if I can make some magic happen on it.
Scotty, does the name Paul Whiting mean anything to you?
No, I don't think.
Paul Whiting.
No, I don't. I don't know.
I
don't think so.
He was there in the master's program about 91, 92, 93.
No, if he wasn't involved in music and specifically percussion, then I probably didn't know him.
He was in the music. He was in the music master's program.
Oh, yeah. I only mingled with percussion probably.
I think he got his doctorate about that time in music.
Yeah, I don't. Doesn't ring a bell. Do you know how to send that, Cheryl?
Yeah, I sent it to you. And
you did?
I don't know what this image converter is. I don't even know how I got it, but I don't know what I'm supposed to
well,
do with
it looks like you downloaded a file and you haven't actually opened that file up. Before you do that, let me see if I can get this, and there might be just an easy way to do this. Give me a couple seconds here.
The family divorced and disappeared, and the dog, has since passed away of old age, and I would love to. It's the only picture I would have.
Right.
So I'd love to have it for file, but.
Well, let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, apparently it was done in 2000, so 13 years ago. Well, it was created no, it wasn't created in 2009. That's probably from me putting it on the map.
It looked like in 2000. That's what it looked like. But,
right, 2000, yeah. Yeah, I think the created part was wrong.
I have not gotten it yet. Did you send it to Scotty at Sales Consulting?
Oh, I might have sent it to, let me see. Oh, ScottyKing@mac.com. That's where I sent it to.
Well, that's not me.
Sorry.
Send it the one below that. I wish I was a king.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Feel free to refer to me as king, though. I like that better.
I don't even know who that is. So.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, they probably won't be able to open it either. So.
They have a picture of someone's dog.
There we go.
All right, yeah, send that over to me.
Okay, now I sent it.
All right. Does anybody else have anything while we wait on that? Guys. Yes. I have the loudest dogs. Okay, there it goes. It is. Let me see. All right. Ugh. Let's see. I'm going to try graphic converter first. I have to wait. That's a trial version, so I have to wait 30 seconds on that. Did anybody else have anything else while we're waiting on that? No? All right. 12 seconds left.
Scotty, the one funny thing is that we bought the MacBook Pro so that we could give my computer to Werner and, do something with his. And his is still going fine. Can't play games real well on it, but it's going on 6 years old and still works.
Huh. Yeah, computers they're not getting slower like they used to. I don't think. Not so
well,
much.
It is slow, but it still works for what he uses it for. So I now have 2 computers, which is really fun.
Well, that's cool. Graphic converter found a picture inside, but it couldn't open the picture. Oh, shoot.
Somehow these all attached to my desktop. These all got moved to my desktop by accident, I can see them up in the top corner. If I delete these all at once, they're just deleting off my desktop, right?
Did you move them? Did you move them from another location?
I think so. Well, I don't know. They all jammed up over here in this corner.
Oh.
I think they're all photo.
Yeah. Well, if you already have them in iPhoto, then you can delete them off of your desktop, no problem.
Yeah, they come to desktop by accident, I think. So I'm gonna. Because I was like, where are these all coming from? And move the trash. Yep, that made them go way off that corner. So that's what happened there.
I'm not having too much luck here. I'm going to try to open this with Word. Let's see if. Oh, geesh.
I wonder if I change it to a PNG if that would do anything.
No, I don't think so. It's encapsulated in some manner. I just never use Office anymore. So it's like saying, hey, thanks for coming back to Office. Oh, gosh. Get out of this. This is why I don't use Microsoft Office. It takes forever to open. It's.
I don't miss it at all.
Oh God. Yeah, people that come from the Mac, come from Windows, and they say, hey, am I going to need Office?
No.
I know, but they don't believe me.
They don't believe me either. I can't convert anybody.
And then 3 years later, they go, why am I using this? Why don't I just use Google Docs or something, or Pages?
Well, just the price difference is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not able to get this thing open. I can go take another swing on the internet. I'm sure there's a way, but I just don't have the right kind of program to do it.
I just won't delete it. So maybe someday we'll have a miracle and it'll pop up.
Well, they're saying that Notepad would do it. Notepad, which is in Windows, would do it. Now, I have Windows on another system, so I might give that a shot and see if I can get it to open in Notepad. This is a Windows proprietary format, and it's a very old one, I believe, too. So, and maybe Photoshop would do it.
I just thought of another question I wanted to ask you.
Let's hear it.
About.
Take it.
You might not like this question. My dad is horrible. He lives out in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, and he doesn't know computers at all, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to move him to Mac. Because he doesn't know how to use the Windows, and I am sick and tired of trying to help him. And it's been so long since I deal with Windows that it's hard for me to remember what he's supposed to be doing with Windows. But of course, he is not willing to go and spend a lot of money on Mac. And I was looking at eBay, and there is some very, I was trying to find it here because I don't know if you're still on my screen, but I did minimize it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if any, there was like ones that were like 162 and what the hell is that? That I was going to, there we go, watch list. Like, what do you look for as far as, if it broke, he only spent $200, rather than $2,000.
Well, that's a good question. You look for what speed processor it is, what type of processor. You want a processor that is at least a Core 2 Duo, not a Core Duo, but a Core 2 Duo. So that's the first thing you want. Okay. Is it a Core 2? And so like you see that one right there is a Core 2 Duo.
Yes.
And 2 gigahertz is the minimum processor. The 2 point something would be better, 2.3, 2.4, but 2.0 is the lowest speed processor, so that is the least machine that you would want to buy. Now, if you bought that machine, it has a 300 gig hard drive, somebody's already installed 10.7 on it, so that's good. That saves you a little bit of trouble. That would be fine, but at $100, I think that there might be something wrong with it.
Well, there's only been one bit. It's got 5 days left.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and it's from New York, so that's good. So it's not far from him. But I mean, this says 10.7, and I think I'm at 10.6. Is this more?
Yeah, that's
what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's definitely more up to date. But you can't really judge.
Mine was a 2000.
No, but see, you don't judge it by the operating system. You could go out right now, Cheryl, you could go to the App Store and spend $20 and get 10.8. So the operating system is really fairly meaningless. It's just conveniently this happens to already have it on there. Okay, great. So it saves them the hassle of having to update it because 10.7 is fine. But
what are the things that are important to look for? Because I really don't know. And
there are 3 things. The speed of the processor, and we've talked about that. The processor needs to be at least 2.0 or higher speed. It needs to be a Core 2 Duo or higher. Now, higher than a Core 2 is anything that says Intel on it. Intel i3, an i7, an i5. Those are really the top processors now. The Core 2s are sort of old school. So i3, i5, i7, those are the newest processors. But those are going to be a lot more expensive than the range that you're looking at. So you're probably going to find something that's a Core 2. Thirdly, you want to see how much hard drive space does it have. This computer has a 300 gig hard drive. That's plenty fine. And lastly, how much RAM does it have already? This machine has 2 gigs, and I believe that this machine will hold 4 gigs of RAM. So he could buy this machine, put $50 toward more RAM, and have a really nice machine. I am using right now, I'm using the exact same machine as that as we speak.
RAM is the same thing as memory?
Yes, well, there's two types of memory. Storage space, which is your hard drive, and then RAM, which is how much you can have open at one time. I've brought that.
And is it, to look for him, is it smart to look for like this iMac, or should I be looking at like a laptop, and if so, which one?
Well, that just depends on the person. So that's kind of a hard question for me to answer.
He does some pictures, and he is a freak about playing this pogo game, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And that's it. He doesn't, he's retired. He doesn't really do anything else.
How old is he?
70.
Does he move around okay? Is he mobile? Is he good in mobile? I mean, in other words, if you gave him a laptop, could he move around with a laptop okay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he goes hunting and fishing. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, some people don't move as well as others. So that's why I asked. Okay. Well, then, have you thought about just an iPad for him? I mean, would an iPad do it for him?
Right.
Especially the iPad that you hate. Maybe just give him the one you don't like.
Yeah, well, he wants. No, his screen. I mean, he still has got that. All right, he's working on a 2002 XP, and he's had people come in and he's paid them lots of money, and I have no idea what the hell they're doing, because he said that he paid for a brand new hard drive, yet it wouldn't load Windows 7 or 8, so I have no idea what he's talking about. They don't know nothing about Mac, and this woman he paid is a teacher for computers at the school.
Yeah.
And nothing seems to work. He can't email pictures. He can't. And I'm like, just get rid of the damn computer.
Well, and the other thing that he could do is, if you ended up getting him this, he could join us on these Mondays, and we can help him along there too. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we'd be messing him up, because he doesn't even know how to write a darn document in Word doc.
Right.
So, I can't really help him, which he calls me every single day for Windows. But I can't work with him with such an outdated Windows computer.
Absolutely. Right.
So I'm like, go to Mac, you're making me crazy. And so I know him. He's stubborn as the, ox. He won't spend a couple $100 for a computer when he'll spend it because this woman is a teacher at a school. He'll spend it to her, and he still doesn't get anything accomplished.
How often do you see him? And I guess the reason I ask that is if. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I haven't been up there in like 5 years.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, if you see him often, then you could buy one here through something like Craigslist and then take it to him. But because you have eBay and Craigslist are your different choices here. With eBay, they're going to ship it. Craigslist, nobody's going to ship anything.
Right.
So.
And his screen, the one nice thing about his old computer is he's got a screen that is like humongous. So that's why I was thinking the laptop might not be good enough for him, because it's probably going to be a smaller screen.
Yeah.
And he's always yelling about typing. He's sitting there doing it like the finger touch instead of, like a pointer finger to type.
Oh, yeah.
He just type like on a keyboard. So I don't think the iPad will do it, because he'll get frustrated too easy, I think.
Right.
Cheryl, why don't you like your iPad?
Well, because I type super fast, and that thing drives me crazy, and I haven't done the whole Bluetooth thing yet to hook a keyboard.
Okay, I have a Bluetooth keyboard, and it's just like my computer's.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I've been prioritizing expenses. I haven't even gotten the hard drive for the Mac Soli yet either, which I need to do.
Yeah.
You guys got to remember, I've got 19 large dogs.
Understood. Do you buy on eBay very often?
Not very often.
All right, so if I was going to buy a computer on eBay, the first thing I'm going to look at, I don't want to get into a bidding war. Number one, you don't want to bid on this right now. What you do is you make a note that in 5 days and 19 minutes, it's going to end. And so you set your clock at that time and you sit there, and the last possible second, the last 10 seconds, you put a bid in and you hopefully win the thing. But you don't have to wait 5 days for that particular computer. These computers are selling every 10 minutes. There's one being sold. So you just spend a night and you look, but you stay away from the ones that are constantly being bid on. You wait for the ones that are just completely empty. You look at the feedback of the person. Has the person sold lots of items, and is their rating good? That kind of thing.
There was another one I was watching, and apparently this one ended.
Yeah.
It looks like it went up to $449. Is that a decent price for something that was?
Yeah. The market usually eBay's usually pretty good at landing right on the market. Sometimes they will have a buy it now where the person just doesn't even want to wait. They just want to sell it for this price, and that's what you usually want to go for if it's reasonable, because you can really just waste your time bidding on something if you're not used to.
By any chance do like buy old computers and fix them up and sell them to people, do you?
No, I don't. I've got lots of. I am where computers go to die. I'm not where computers go to be resold. I have so many old, dead, broken computers. All I got to do is reach back, and here's one right here. They're all over the place. I recycle them for people and stuff.
Can you use the parts on the old ones?
Sometimes I do.
Other computers?
Yeah, sometimes I do, but I've tried to get out of the repair business. I'm trying to leave that as fast as possible. I still do hard drives. I do a lot of hard drives, but I'm getting out of repairs. So yeah, under 500 would be reasonable for that. Under 450 would be even better.
Apparently, I somehow that one. I just check back with it, and in 5 days that one, and see where it's at.
Yeah, but don't wait 5 days. You can find something somewhere else. Are you searching for iMac? Like how did you just get to this random list here?
Well, I was just searching iMac, and I just pulled over a watch list that I was
okay.
That I thought there was a ton on there, but this was the one that looked closest to mine, and that's the only one I know. So
yeah,
and I don't even really know my own computer very well, but I thought that was like, wow, that was more than mine there because mine's a 10.6.
Yeah.
You said that doesn't matter.
There's the
Scotty,
iMac.
Whatever happened to that MacBook Air that you took from me?
Let's see. It's around here somewhere. Oh, let's see. Oh, my girlfriend uses it.
Okay.
Yeah, she uses it. What was I gonna say?
Can you get that for her?
I can't remember now. But yeah, anyway, with eBay, it's happening every 10 minutes. There's one being sold. So what I would suggest before you just jump in and buy one, just watch it. Watch one or two of them go by. Don't. The worst thing you can do is think, oh gosh, I'm going to miss this. This is the only chance I have. No, in 10 minutes there's another one. So watch several of them go by and get a feel for it first before you buy one. But, all right.
At least I know the things that the speed and all that.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to say now. The line prior to the silver metal iMac, the one that you have, was a white plastic iMac. And those are pretty much done now. I wouldn't invest any money in buying a white iMac for them.
Yeah, there was a ton of them on there, and I thought they looked kind of like plastic and stuff.
And
that's what Werner has, and it still works.
Yeah, and they were great machines, but if you're going to buy something, at least get something that's a little bit more modern than those.
Right.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you get one that's loaded with RAM and you can spend $100 on it, then yeah, okay, maybe $100.
Now, would I be able, since I bought the iWorks and all that, if I have it, shipped to here and everything, and make sure it works, because you'd have a cow if it didn't work, could I load the iWorks onto that?
You could. Yeah, you could. Do you have the iWork discs, the CDs?
Yep.
Then yeah, you could put them on there. You could.
And how do you know what programs are on this thing? Would iPhoto automatically be on this? Yes, by default. If the person who's selling it has done the right and moral thing, the right thing to do is to not sell it with more software than what it came with. In other words, and it's illegal. You're not supposed to sell
a computer with a copy of Photoshop. Now, Photoshop can be a $1,200 program if you buy the entire suite, and a lot of people will entice people to buy the computer saying, hey, it's got Photoshop on it. But what they're not giving you is the disks. So when something happens, you got to reinstall the operating system. You've lost that program anyway. Plus, they're making 2 copies of the program, and that's stealing. So don't fall for any descriptions that say it comes loaded with this and loaded with that. No, you want the operating system and the default programs, iPhoto, and not even Pages doesn't even come on the machine. So
right. So since this doesn't say anything about iPhoto, it would be understood that it would most likely be on there.
Yes, it should be. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And even if it wasn't, it wouldn't be hard to get it back. You just go to the App Store and click download, and it would put it back on. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here for this evening. And
thank you, Scotty.
All right.
Good night, Daryl. Good night, Cheryl.
Have
Thank
fun.
you, Scotty.
Hey, send me a picture from down there, Daryl. I'd love to see the old stomping grounds. Send me something.
Well, what do you want me to? What do you want to see? I'll go take a picture for you.
Just maybe if you happen to be around the Key Biscayne area, the bridge going over, that would be nice, or the cruise ship line, anything like that.
Okay.
But don't go out of your way for it. Don't go out of your way. All right.
Well, for you, Scotty, anything.
The fastest I ever went on a bike, the fastest I ever went on a bicycle was on that Key Biscayne bridge. I topped 40 miles an hour on a bike, and I was scared.
Going down?
Yeah, going
down.
down.
One side, yeah.
Yeah, and I was scared to death. I was scared out of my wits, but made it through. All right. Well, you guys have a good evening, and Daryl, have fun with the rest of the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.